Welcome back to the Hockey Shop Source for Sports. I'm down here again with Cam Matwiv and Goalie Utopia, surrounded by all the latest and greatest in goaltending equipment. But today we're actually going to go to a product that's been here in the shop for a while. They've had success selling it, good feedback with the customers. I've seen it on the mask wall every time I come in, but we haven't actually talked about it on the gear segment, and that is a product I'm not familiar with, one you're going to have to sort of fill me in on, Coveted Masks. We've talked a lot about Bauer, CCM, Warrior, all the sort of mainstream brands. We haven't talked about Coveted. So Cam, right off the hop, other than a really cool emblem, what is the difference in Coveted masks between some of the bigger brands? What makes Coveted stand out? What makes them special? What makes the feedback so good from your customers?
So Coveted, smaller brand, and built in Canada. Ron Stefaniak manufacturing the mask, started the company. Basically, we're getting that care factor and that feel-wise for what would be that, $500-ish price point that you would see normally on the wall, which would be a lot of the company's entry-level fiberglasses masks. So we have the A5 kind of sliding in there. Again, similar price point, but you're getting a full fiberglass mask with Kevlar reinforcement all the way throughout, hand-laid. Year warranty on the mask too, which is something that's kind of unheard of, especially at that price point. There's a lot of positive things here for a competing mask where, a lot of other ones is kind of just that, just fiberglass, that's it, entry price point kind of idea. So we can really get a chance to dial in the fit with the mask too as well. A lot of flexibility in terms of being able to kind of dial in the foam. This is something I want to do like in-house with you, for example. It wouldn't be an over-the-phone option, but we have the ability to work with Ron and Coveted to be able to create, that perfect fitting mask for you. So
just much like we see at the pro level, the shell doesn't change in a lot of cases. It's just the foams that are changed. Traditional foam, we've seen some standard of the bigger companies go with impact, sort of absorbing high-end foams. This is standard, like you said, VN liner, but again, right up to the National Hockey League, some of the, so many goalies going over to Pro's Choice, that is a traditional foam type liner, and they just build out the foams to sort of make the mask fit the head in part. That's the option we have here.
Yes, yeah. So we're getting three variations in terms of the overall shell size, but we start with the youth mask, so it's just the one size in youth. Then I have junior, small, medium, and then senior, large, extra large. Basically, that junior helmet between the small and the medium, it's the exact same shell shape, but it's the foam package that changes, between the two sizes. Same thing with the senior. Same shell shape, but large is one size of foam, and then XL is one size of foam.
All right, so that's the A5, like you said, in the $500 price point range. Fiberglass mask with Kevlar reinforcement, hand-laid, Canadian-made, Coveted mask, but it's not the only option you have on the wall when it comes to options from Coveted. We've also got the 906, which I think based on the name, I'm guessing feels a little bit like a heavier mask, so probably more Kevlar in there in this one, Kevlar throughout, if I'm not mistaken. And, as you can see by the look and sort of profile of it, I don't think it's a stretch to say that 906 probably tells us this is somewhat related to an old school 960. You can see the chin profile. What else? What changes in this? We're into sort of more of $1,000 mask versus $500. What changes in this from the A5 to the 906?
So yeah, once again, we are talking about jumping up to that pro level mask. So again, competing levels with that CCM Pro mask and the Enemy One, the Warrior, and the Phantom Pro. Again, in terms of fit wise, a little bit more of an open fit. Again, the ability to dial that in a little bit more, something we'd want to do in house. Who's it for? Again, you're looking for that pro level helmet. You are seeing that increase in terms of overall protection provided by that Kevlar lay that he is doing there.
We've seen this worn in the National Hockey League?
Yes, we have.
Malcolm Subban?
Malcolm Subban would be the one.
Anybody else?
Off the top of my head, I believe Kaskisulo has a two-piece helmet, but it's not something we offer off the bat, but it is made by Coveted.
Obviously, right up to the highest level, this is a builder, a mask maker that we've seen goalies at that level put their trust in. Yep. So if you're heading into junior, maybe even major midget, as the shots are getting a lot harder and you're worried about that extra level of protection, beer leaguers probably getting away with the A5 unless you're playing a really high level, and you might look to upgrade to this. at the end of the day, you're just getting more protection in this one. Like you said, that full Kevlar reinforcement. Any other differences between this and the A5?
Well, shape, you can see that right off the bat. But yeah, I mean, we covered kind of most of it there right off the bat. Couple quick notes. Both masks are HEC and CSA certified. So you guys shopping down in the States, this is an option that you can
Goes
use
across the border.
at cross-border ships. So definitely check that out. Again, great overall fit, backed with good warranty. It's a half year on the 906. Again, 1 year on that A5. We're talking about structural faults in the mask, anything like that. Paint chips and dings and like that are going to happen over the course. It is hockey we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen.
They are shooting at our heads.
Yes. Well, hopefully not, but it tends to happen.
You should see my beer league team. That's warm-ups. I also noticed, hopefully I've got this right, but instead of just a little leather tab in between the cage and the shell, looks like a little bit of almost like a rubber grommet that sort of seals that. So I'd imagine a little bit of impact protection, a little bit of stability.
Just trying to set yourself aside on that wall of just having something slightly a little bit different. So
love it. Coveted. I wish I'd known more about them before. As you said, handcrafted in Canada. Good feeling, good looking product. We'll get some more shots of that up. Cam, really appreciate you walking us through this option. If you got any questions, especially when it comes to that option to sort of dial in the foam to your head, something we want to do, as Cam mentioned a couple times, in store as opposed to the hockeyshop.com customers. But if you're around and in the area, you don't mind Cam touching your head with a tape measure, make sure you come down and check it out. If you got any questions about it, where can they get you?
You get me 604-589-8299 or 1-800-567-7790.
Coveted Masks. Check them out.